The story begins in a small, seemingly ordinary town in Japan, a quiet place, but beneath the stillness, something is deeply wrong here. This town is cursed. Our story is told through the eyes of a high school girl named Kirie. On the surface, her life looks normal: school, friends, a boyfriend named Shuichi. But soon her world begins to unravel, pulled, twisted, and devoured by something far beyond human understanding. One evening, Kirie walks toward the train station. She sees Shuichi waiting for her. Something about him feels different. He looks at her and asks, "Kirie, have you ever thought about leaving this town?" She laughs it off, teasing him, but Shuichi doesn't smile. There's something wrong here. This town, it's cursed. He points to the river. The surface should be calm, but instead the water twists unnaturally, curling and curling, forming endless spirals. Kirie stares in disbelief. The spirals are hypnotic, unnatural, alive. And it's not just the river. The air feels strange. The winds are sharper, biting. Even the siren that blares through the town every evening at 5 p.m. has become unbearable. To Shimichi, it's like needles stabbing into his ears. He hates it. The siren, the mountains, the sea, even the lighthouse that stands at the edge of town. Everything feels suffocating. Everything feels cursed. But the real terror is much closer. It's inside his own home. Shuichi tells her his father has changed. Once a hard-working man, now reduced to an obsession. He quit his job, locked himself inside his room, and filled it with objects: snail shells, ceramics, tools, anything shaped like spirals. All day, he sits and stares at them, eyes wide, mouth slack. Sometimes, his eyes themselves seem to spin, rolling in opposite directions, as if his mind is being pulled into the spiral too. At dinner, he grows furious if nothing spiral-shaped is served. He stirs his soup endlessly, watching the whirlpool form. Even before bathing, he spins the water, refusing to step inside until it swirls. Kirie tries to laugh. It sounds silly, absurd, but Shuichi's voice darkens. "You won't understand, Kirie, not until you see it yourself." And soon she does. One evening, she delivers pottery to Shuichi's house. His father greets her with a strange smile, his eyes wild. He speaks of spirals as if they hold a secret power, as if they're divine. Then slowly, he sticks out his tongue. Kirie watches in horror as it begins to twist, curling, spiraling, stretching unnaturally until it coils like a snake. Her scream cuts through the house. She runs, terrified. But the obsession consumes him completely. Days later, Shuichi's father is dead. The neighbors are told he fell down the stairs, but Shuichi reveals the truth. His father had ordered a massive spiral-shaped barrel, climbed inside, and contorted his body into the shape of a spiral. Bones cracked, flesh twisted, until there was nothing left but a mangled, spiral-shaped corpse. At his cremation, the sky itself seems to rebel. Smoke rises into the air, but instead of fading, it coils. A massive black spiral forms in the heavens, swirling over the town. The people gasp in terror as the smoke descends, curling downward, dragging itself into the town's pond. Shuichi's mother screams, her eyes wide with madness. She swears she sees her husband's face inside the smoke, his soul twisting, consumed by the spiral forever. From that day, she loses her mind. Spirals terrify her. She shaves her head so she won't see them in her hair. She slices the skin from her fingertips, desperate to erase the spirals of her fingerprints. Every curve, every coil reminds her of her husband's broken body. She is drowning in the curse. And as Shuichi's family collapses, another victim emerges. Kirie befriends a girl at school, Azami, a beautiful classmate admired by everyone. But Kirie notices something strange: a scar on her forehead, a scar that looks almost like a spiral. Azami laughs when asked about it, but there's something unnatural about her. Every boy who sees her becomes obsessed with her. They follow her, beg for her attention, fall in love without reason. It's as if she pulls them in, like a whirlpool, like a living spiral. When Shuichi meets her, he freezes. His eyes widen in terror. Behind her, he swears he sees it, an enormous spiral, looming, sucking the air around her. He grabs Kirie's hand, pulling her away. Stay away from her! Don't get close! She's cursed! But it's already too late. Azami's scar begins to deepen, slowly sinking inward, twisting like a black hole. One of her admirers corners her, begging her to love him. The spiral pulses, and his body is dragged forward. His face twists, bones snapping, until he's sucked into the spiral on her forehead. His screams vanish into the void. Azami swallows him whole. And then her body begins to twist as well. The spiral consumes her, dragging her into its endless depths. Her form collapses, folding into itself until she disappears completely. Kirie and Shuichi stand frozen, horrified. They realize the truth. The spiral is not just an obsession, not just a curse. It is alive. It is spreading. And the nightmare has only just begun.